Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Dear ladies and gentlemen, allow me to first introduce myself. I am Haji Noryasmin Haji Muhammad Noor, Senior Inspector with the Safety, Health and Environment National Authority. As regulator for the workplace safety, health and environment, as well as radiation matters in Brunei Darussalam, Shena remains steadfast in its belief and commitment that it can make a difference and ensure Brunei is a safe place to work and live. Delivering against the aspiration of the nation under the Wawasan Brunei 2035 deliverable of quality of life. Shena believes in raising HSE standards in the workplace and preventing work-related injuries and in particular fatalities. As part of our ongoing drive to reach out to our stakeholders, this month we have declared it to be a safety month. In conjunction with the World Safety for Safety and Health at Work, we will this month deliver key messages as presentations to you covering a number of relevant safety-related topics. Today, I will be addressing the topic of the value of workplace safety and health coordinator in a workplace. Through the presentation, I will provide you with scope of the presentation, introduction, elaboration of the workplace safety and health coordinator, and finally the value of a workplace safety and health coordinator in a workplace. There are three scopes of this presentation. Number one, appointment of a workplace safety and health coordinator. The second one, duties and powers of a workplace safety and health coordinator. And number three, value of the workplace safety and health coordinator. As an introduction, we go to the legal framework of this workplace safety and health coordinator. It is basically based on two workplace safety and health order, which is under section 28 of the Workplace Safety and Health Order 2009 and the Workplace Safety and Health Construction Regulation 2014, in which are applicable to all work sites in Brunei Darussalam. Workplace Safety and Health Coordinator. When to appoint a Workplace Safety and Health Coordinator? According to Regulation 6 of the Workplace Safety and Health Construction Regulations, a Workplace Safety and Health Coordinator shall be appointed in respect to every work site where the contract sum of the building operations or works of engineering constructions are carried out therein less than 10 million. And just for information, most contract sums for worksites project in Brunei Darussalam are amounting to less than 10 million. As an additional information, this presentation only focuses on building operations and works of engineering construction below 10 million. For projects above 10 million, there will be a workplace safety and health officer requirement. And for a project above 30 million, there is a workplace safety and health auditor which is required to be appointed. And according to the number of persons, more than 50 persons, there should be a workplace safety and health committee in the arrangement of the work site. And above 100, there should be a workplace safety and health officer appointed for a work site which has more than 100 workers. What is a work site? A worksite means any building operations or works of engineering constructions carried out by way of trade for purposes of gain, whether or not or on behalf of the government or statutory body. And this includes any line or siding which is not forming part of a railway, which is used in connection with the building operations or works of engineering construction. For this presentation, the keywords are building operations and works of engineering construction, which is more applicable to here in Brunei Darussalam. What are building operations? Building operations are made up of three main areas in a worksite. So it is defined as the construction or structural alteration, repair or maintenance of a building, including a rewiring of any electrical installation, the replacement of any lift, air conditioning plant, and ancillary ducting of a building, and repointing, redecoration, and external cleaning of the structure. It also includes the demolition of a building and the preparation of the site for and the laying of foundation of an intended building. But it does not include any operation which is a work of engineering construction. Half of the work site are called engineering construction. What are the works of engineering construction? Engineering construction made up of 6 areas. Number 1, the construction of any railway line of siding, which is, we don't have a lot of that in Brunei Darussalam. And the second one, the construction, structural alteration or repair, including repointing and repainting of demolition of any dock, harbour, inland navigation, tunnel, bridge, viaduct, waterworks, reservoir, pipeline, aqueduct, sewer, sewerage works or gas holder. Number 3, the construction, laying, structural alteration, inspection, maintenance, repair, demolition, and removal of any pipeline and for the conveyance of water, gas, and any other thing. It is also for any drain, whether open or covered, except open drains situated on domestic premises. And C, any underground electrical cable and communication cable. Number 4, the inspection, repair, or maintenance of any manhole, sump, inspection chamber, valve chamber, in any other similar confined structure, providing access to pipelines and underground electrical cables and communication cables. Number 5, the construction of any road or car park. And number 6, the reclamation of any land. For that basis, who is responsible for the appointment of the Workplace Safety and Health Coordinator? According to Regulation 6.2 of the Workplace Safety and Health Construction Regulations, the coordinator shall be appointed by the occupier of the worksite. We'll explain later who is the occupier of the worksite, but however, during Shena monitoring visits, it is found that generally worksites do not have an appointed Workplace Safety and Health Coordinator. That also actually is an offense according to Regulation 6.4. If found guilty of that offense and liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding $10,000, and for continuing offense to a further fine of not exceeding $1,000 for every day part thereof during which the offense continues after conviction. Okay, who is the occupier? The occupier in relation to any premises or part of any premises means, in the case of a factory where a certificate of registration or a factory has been obtained in relation to the premises, according to any regulation, the occupier is the holder of the certificate or the permits. And for the case of any other premises, the person who has charge or management or control of those premises, either on his own account or as an agent or other persons, whether or not he is also the owner of those premises, is the occupier of the workplace. Who is eligible to be a Workplace Safety and Health Coordinator? According to Regulation 6.3 of the Workplace Safety and Health Construction Regulations 2014, the eligible people who is going to be Safety and Health Coordinator is a person who has successfully completed a relevant training course. For the time being, the recognized training course for the Workplace Safety and Health Coordinator is IOSH Managing Safely and NIBOSH Award Certificate or any other similar relevant training. The second requirement is the occupier reasonably believes that the person is competent to perform the function and duties of a Workplace Safety and Health Coordinator. And C, he has at least 2 years practical experience relevant to HSC work. And based on Regulation 6.4, if found guilty of an offense, for example, appointing incompetent Workplace Safety and Health Coordinator to a worksite, if found guilty of an offense and liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding $10,000, and in the case of a continuing offense, to a further fine of not exceeding $1,000 for every day or part thereof during the offense continues after conviction. Let's move towards the duties of a Workplace Safety and Health Coordinator. What are the duties? According to Regulation 7.1 of the Workplace Safety and Health Construction Regulation, the first duty of the Safety and Health Coordinator is to identify any unsafe condition in the worksite or any unsafe work practice in the worksite. And then they are required to recommend to the occupier of the worksite to implement such reasonable, practicable measures to remedy the unsafe condition or unsafe work practice. And next, the duty of the Workplace Safety and Health Coordinator is to assist the occupier to implement such reasonably practicable measures referred to in paragraph B. Failure to do part A, B, C will result on Regulation 7.2, which any workplace safety and health coordinator who, without reasonable excuse, contravenes the above is guilty of an offense is liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding $1,000, and in case of a second or a subsequent offense, to a further fine of not exceeding $5,000. What are the powers of safety and health coordinator? In Regulation 8, Workplace Safety and Health Construction Regulation, the powers are to enter, inspect, and examine at any reasonable time at the worksite. And B, to inspect and examine any machineries, equipment, plant, installation, or article on the worksite. Or C, to require the production of worksite records, certificates, and documents, any other documentations, or required to be kept under the order, to inspect and examine any of them. D, to make examination and inquiry to the worksite and of any person at that worksite that may be necessary to execute his duties. E, to assess the level of noise, illumination, heat, or harmful or hazardous substances in the worksite, and the exposure levels of persons at work therein. And F, if there is any investigation for an accident, dangerous occurrences, or any occupational disease, one of the powers of the Workplace Safety and Health Coordinator is to investigate any occurrences that occurred within the worksite. So far, we are approaching to the value of a Workplace Safety and Health Coordinator. And based on the powers and the duties and the regulation that states the amount of fines to a workplace, we can see the values of a workplace safety and health coordinators are a lot and are as follows. Number one, it can do on-site intervention of any unsafe activities and enhance workplace safety. Number two, it can reduce accidents by having a proper permits to work system or proper procedures at site. And number three, it can be a member of a site coordination team and attend site coordination meeting. It may also help the company or organization to reduce reputational, legal, and financial costs, which is caused by accidents. For example, cost of hospitalization, cost of damages due to any accidents, fatality, and legal action, say for example by the law itself, and by his active involvement on site. Just as a reminder to all, on Section 49, an individual to a fine of not exceeding $200,000 and imprisonment for a term not exceeding 2 years or both, and not exceeding $2,000 for every day in the offense continues after conviction. And for a body corporate, to a fine not exceeding $10 million and not exceeding $5,000 for every day if the offense continues after conviction. Section 49 does describe the maximum impact that can be borne to an organization or a company. Next one is also by having a workplace safety and health coordinator, it allows continuous monitoring of a work site in terms of occupational safety and health. It also develops and evaluates the workplace safety procedures, SOPs, and policies so that it will tend to reduce injuries and even fatalities. It will promote HSE compliance to any HSE law. And the person itself can act as approver for permits, for example, permit to work, at height, and etc. He also provides records for incidents that happen in the workplace and provides recommendations. This is also been looked after if there is any safety inspection on the work site. And they also help to identify and organize and require safety-related training to the workers. And they also conduct drills for emergency response plan for better results. And more importantly, they act as a point of contact where safety complaints can be made. So we have another value for the HSE coordinator as well, which is the in-country value of the Workplace Safety and Health Coordinator. The Workplace Safety and Health Coordinators are to be registered with Shena in the future. This can promote potential availability of jobs and sustainability of jobs as well, because it is mentioned in Section 33 of the Workplace Safety and Health Order. Then It will create potential jobs for locals and has improved local business content. It is to be enforced to all project worksite which is under $10 million value. And it will produce competent local persons with HSE knowledge and background. And furthermore, it will help increase organization's profile. And lastly, are there any future for safety coordinator jobs? Or is it sustainable? As I mentioned earlier, there are supporting mechanisms to ensure the survivability of the Workplace Safety and Health Coordinator. Number one, it is to comply with the Workplace Safety and Health Order 2009, in which every worksite or every workplace needs to comply. And number two, instilling a safety culture in Brunei, which is, again, something related to the Workplace Safety and Health Order 2009. And number three, an alignment with Wawasan Brunei 2035, in which in goal number 2 of Wawasan Brunei 2035 is a high quality of life. Thank you.